Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. It's Christmas Eve 2025. And it's been a while. Been a while since I've done like a video, you know? I mean, to be honest with you, the Fat Gross Loser channel is one of those things that I definitely didn't expect to get supportive comments and people like, it's not like it's blown up like crazy. I mean, the channel's been around for a couple of years. There's like 70 of you, you know? But it's interesting to me that the videos that I've put out all these years, you know, these past couple of years, that people are still watching them and that stuff is resonating with people. So much so that they feel the need to leave positive comments, you know, and I didn't expect that at all. So I appreciate you guys. I do. And hopefully that maybe in my my stories and sharing with you how I feel, maybe I'm reaching people and you know, I mean, again, I know it's like 70 of you, but if I'm reaching anybody and I'm helping anybody, that's awesome and not what I expected. I didn't really have any expectations, to be honest, when it came to the channel, other than ugly stuff, you know? When you put yourself out there like that and you represent yourself as like a fat, gross loser, you expect people to treat you that way, you know? I think the point of the channel for me and being that vulnerable in front of strangers that way, I think it was a way, and is a way, for me to practice humility, you know? But, you know, and it's like, I think I got to a point where it was like, it's not that I was trying to be somebody else my whole life. Maybe to a degree, yeah. Because I would covet at certain types, like, you know, like certain stars and or maybe not necessarily, like, just people that I admire, right? I'd covet towards those people. I wish I had what that guy has. I wish I had, and not materialistically, you know. I mean, maybe to a degree, but more like, I wish I was talented like that person is and stuff like that, you know. Rather than, I guess, admitting I had talents. I mean, I knew I had them, but I guess bathing in my own talents. And so there was like this part of me that always wished I was somebody else somehow. And so I think I got to a point where I didn't have any room for that anymore. And it was just like, fuck it. Like, this is who I am. This is how I feel. This is the life I'm living. This is what I'm doing, you know? And I'm not gonna try to pretend, you know? And I mean, like, I've got comments pulled together, you know? I've got comments pulled together. And I wanted to read through them, you know? I wanted to read through them. And also talk, you know? Tell some stories, I guess. I don't know what about, but hey, well, here we are. So, this is my very first video. I'm Such a Loser, Video Diary 1. We've got Andy DeVirgo. I can relate with a few exceptions. Consider yourself lucky to have actually been able to live your life and thrive without constant interference. Yeah. I like the, just immediately, like, just like, hey man, like, the encouragement, you know what I mean? I mean, he's not wrong. Could be worse. You could be covered in grease like me. I'm so fat, says Howie. Ah, bro. Pete says, do an ice plunge. Fast for 7 days. The self-pity isn't good. Trust me, I get it. I do it too, right? I think we all do. And he was kind of getting my ass, getting on my ass here. Bro, your kid will see this one day. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he will. Again, I don't expect this channel to do much, you know, and it's definitely not something that I share. The only people that know about this channel that know me are people that I like trust, and yeah, there's not many of them. Bro, your kid will see this one day. Get it the fuck together. I'm childless with only part-time work. Snap out of it. I was in a bad way in this first video, you know. I was in a really bad way. The mother of my child had a new man, and even though that, like, it wasn't going to work between her and I, it really hurt. It really hurt. Plus, she had been with another guy before. Like, it wasn't like all of a sudden she was with a new man after, like, she had another boyfriend between me and then the boyfriend that, that happened here or whatever. Great guy, by the way. I mean, it's been a couple of years. They have a baby. I love the baby. I love the guy. Like, it is awesome. We get together every Wednesday and have, we spend time together, all of us. We have dinner together, like we're doing fine, But at the time, it was really rough for me emotionally because, growing up, when I imagined myself with a child, I always, there was a woman with me. The mother of the child was with me, My mother and father are still together. They've just celebrated their 49th anniversary, Is that right? Yeah, I guess they'd only been married 5 years by the time I was born. Anyway, yeah, I was just in a bad way at the time. Pardon me, I'm getting over a little bit of a bug. A real question, Lily says, a real question though, if you're checking this, you kept saying that you don't want what you don't like to do anymore. I don't know what that, I don't know, maybe I did. You need to have the answer to the question, what do you want? Before anyone can help you with what to do, the first step is to know what you want. I think I just want to be happy, man, right? I want to be happy. I want to be able to be on my, like, I'm not financially secure, like, to me, financially secure is like, you've got 20 grand in the bank. Literally. You've got 20 grand in the bank. You've got a house, you can pay your bills. You've got money coming in, and you're good, That is financial freedom to me, And people might say, oh, like, dude, nobody has 20 grand in the bank. Like, the people do. Most of us don't. Most of us barely have $200 in the bank, That's where I'm at, right? I have money in the bank, but it's not a growing amount. It's like, here it is, and then, I have money coming in, You know, I take care of my parents and I get paid for that. Um, and I get paid for my YouTube, my other channels and stuff that I have. Where and I did a documentary that's on Tubi and Amazon. Well, it will be on Amazon Prime, and there's others that it's on Apple TV and stuff too. That's generating me income. But you know, my parents' time on this earth is limited. Anything can happen at any time, you know, and if something were to happen to them right now, like, I would be completely fucked. There's a fucking fly in here. He's being a bitch. I hate flies. I hate them. But yeah, you're not wrong. You know, what do you want? What do I want? I just want to be able to take care of myself and take care of my kid. Doing what I love. Which is, I've got to figure out how to monetize myself, you know, outside of YouTube, and I've got to figure out, like, how to monetize my talents, you know, because the things that I'm good at, it's, I don't know. Joseph says, your thoughts and emotions are corrupted by sexual pleasures, masturbation, and porn. Hence your low self-esteem, low confidence, depression, cause negative feelings and thoughts. Bro. Yeah, lots of jacking off and feeling sorry for myself, dude. Lots of that. That is definitely a thing. Jacking off and beating myself up emotionally. God damn it. You have a child, a full-time job, a car. You pay child support on time. You don't sound like a loser to me. Believe me, there are people your age who have done none of those things. It seems to me like your biggest problem is negative thinking. Look into mindfulness, meditate every day. It does wonders. Meditating every day. That's a tough one for me. I have meditated. I've done it. I've practiced that. Mindfulness and stuff. You're right. You know, those things do help. They definitely do. But, you know, I can meditate until the fucking cows come home. It's not gonna change my financial situation, you know. But I'm trying to figure that out. You know. Galactic Spectre chimed in, yeah, there are bigger losers, but if he's living in his parents' basement at 40, I can see why he sees himself as a loser, as that is not how it should be. And I mean, yeah, that's like, I feel that, you know. I feel that. I definitely feel like I'm not where I should be socially, you know. But like, also, every other country, right? Like, the family stays together in a lot of cases, man. You know, like in Mexico and I think a lot of Danish families and even German families and stuff like that. The family, like, stays together, you know. I mean, yeah, people go off and stuff, but like, it almost seems like they almost always come back together, or that the family's always there, you know. But you're not wrong. Like, I think in America there's just like this like, it's very much, if you're like me, like, people look at you as a loser, dude. You're a fucking loser. You have no value. You have no worth. Why, how can you live with yourself doing what you do? That's very much the way it is, And, I mean, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to figure some shit out. Yeah, if he's a loser, this is Kenny. If he's a loser, he's doing pretty good for a loser. I'm 40 and I don't have any of the stuff he has. Seems like his weight bothers him, which he can fix, and meditation might help him out a lot too. Again, with the meditation stuff. Bunch of hippies. Yeah, the weight thing bothers me a lot, dude. Got you. Got that son of a bitch. Ha! Fuck you. I win. Showed that fly. Yeah, the weight thing, dude. It's always bothered me. I was heaviest in high school. I weighed like 225 pounds when I was like 16, 17, 18. It wasn't until I moved out of my house, right? I moved out when I was 18, and I just I didn't work. I had some money that I had inherited, right? I was very fortunate. My grandfather was a farmer, and he had left me like 60 grand that I had access to when I was 18. So I bought a small house from my family, and I had like a little over 20 grand, and I'm 18, fresh out of high school, no plans on going to school. I'm gonna fucking sleep all day until I wake the fuck up, and when I wake up, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. That was where I was at when I was 18, freshly out of high school. I had no ambition to do anything other than be a musician. I wanted to be in a band and like, oh, the naivety of it all. Strong ambitions, but in the middle of nowhere, with no one to look up to or no one to guide me, or like, I spent all that money in a matter of months. The only thing I still have from that is one of my drum sets. I still have that. That's the only thing left out of all of that money that I had is that drum set. And I'll keep that until I die, Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, I was starving, right? Because I ran out of money. All I cared about was if I had weed to smoke and cigarettes to smoke. That was all I gave a shit about. That was it. And I would eat once a week. I would drive out to my parents' house after my dad had gone to work, because he worked night shift at a correctional facility. So my dad would go to work, and then I would drive out to the house, and I would make some sort of meal for me and my girlfriend that I had at the time. I had a girlfriend through all of that, who I left later, which, I mean, we won't worry about any of that, but I don't regret it. Maybe a little bit, but man, dude, nah. Out of all my girlfriends, she was the one that loved me the most, but bitch was crazy. Bitch was crazy. So, you gotta weigh the pros and cons. Doesn't choke on cocks. Tries to fucking follow me around and figure out what the fuck I'm doing all the time. has big tits. I'm sorry. I'm being misogynistic. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be funny. And when it comes to these videos, I'm not editing. I'm just being 100% me, you know. So you're a misogynist. I guess man, fuck. No. I like beautiful big titted bitches. I'm sorry. I just don't like them when they're crazy. Bitches be crazy, dude. Anyway, you know, it's very cool to see so many of you like responding to me and talking to me. I've been watching your videos since I found your post on Reddit. First, you were rocking the long hair. Thank you. This is from John. It is a good look. Second, you're right about the friend group thing. I want to be closer to my friends, but it's hard at our age. I'm in my 40s too. Most of my friends are married or in relationships, so it's hard to find time to hang out. Third, you are right about the high school mentality never ending. I know elderly people who have that mentality too. It just doesn't end. I don't know what I was on about in this particular video, but I was making sense to somebody here. Things are always changing, sometimes for the good, sometimes for bad. I think that is something we have to remember. I fear change because things can get worse. But I know that in order to make change work for me, I have to take action. That being said, it is hard because I have made bad decisions in the past, so I suffer from decision paralysis and procrastination. Excuse me. It is not good. I'm trying to get better. I hope things work out for you. I look forward to your videos. I appreciate that, John. And Dougie Doug. I love that name. Reminds me of that guy from Cool Runnings and A Different World. Y'all remember that show? Dougie Doug. Hey, buddy, there's a lot of us. To be honest, I feel like a loser too. Yeah, I know you said you don't feel like a loser anymore, but I'm 41. My parents, without a college education, had somehow succeeded far beyond they should have compared to me. The reason why I feel this way is because society says, hey, you don't have a degree, goodbye. Right? Not sure if it's because I hopped colleges or if it's a generational thing, but my boomer parents had it so easy. My mother is a high school graduate, and my dad became a sign salesman and a firefighter thanks to connections because times were different then. These days I was given no opportunity, so I made my own path. Joined the military in 2008 for 6 years, and that gave me nothing, to be honest. Yeah, right? Like, I see that a lot. Man. The younger generation, Gen Z, has no respect for older people or themselves. Fucking amen. I feel I deserve more pay and respect. Maybe it was bad decisions, but I never got into drugs, and I thought I did things right, like not partying too hard. The only thing that kept me from offing myself is because I met my wife on Tinder in 2020. I can't even with Tinder. Let me get back to that in just a second. She's highly educated, and her family looks down on me like I'm homeless. And I'm just a regular dude, a 90s, 2000s kid who grew up and came to the conclusion that technology, politics, and the death of rock music killed the millennial generation. This is taking an interesting turn. I know that sounds like an immature and trivial perspective, but society is terrible these days. My wife doesn't see it this way at all, and is more optimistic because she's 15 years younger and didn't grow up like I did. I think this country ruined our generation. I'm about ready to leave this country, man. Yeah, I don't know that leaving the country would matter, you know? I think, because I have a friend who moved to Portugal for a bit. I think like 2 years he was there, and he's back now. He's back at this country that he moved when Trump became president, like he was like, fuck it, I'm out. He left, went to Portugal, came back a few times, and now he's back permanently. And he's no better off than he was before he left. I mean, he has the experience, of living somewhere else for a bit, but it didn't matter in the long run, I don't think it's a matter of where you're at. Where you are. Let's speak proper English now. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If negativity is beating us down, you can never move away from that. You know what I mean? And really what it comes down to, I think what Doug is talking about here is just the amount of consumerism. I mean, dude, you may not think about it, but you may not think about it this way, but when you're going through Reels on Facebook or Instagram, or you're going through TikTok and you're death scrolling or doom scrolling, they call it. That's what the kids say. You're consuming. We're in a constant state of consumption. And I mean, that's all over the world too in a lot of ways, right? But it's really bad here. It's really bad here. And it's always to be fair, it's always kind of been through the 80s, I think the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. I mean, you can see this rapid increase of the public paying attention to the media, the stars, famous people, all that shit, right? And now, with all of these different apps and services such as TikTok and YouTube and Twitch and all of this, everybody can put a camera on them and talk. You know what I mean? Every jackass in the world can have a podcast. You know what I mean? I was able to put together a documentary. When I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, the idea of that being a possibility later in my life with ease of access like it is was completely unheard of. We would have laughed at you if I, from this time, 2025, went back to 1995 and told 14-year-old me, hey, those dreams you have of being a movie director, that'll be possible. It'll all be digital. You won't have to worry about tape. You don't even have to go to school. You can do it. And maybe people will watch it. It's I wouldn't. I never, ever would have believed that, I guess back to the point of consumerism being really what's destroying youth. It's not so much youth. I think it's originality, man. There are no original ideas under the sun. I think in a lot of ways, not AI. I mean, AI, but it didn't start with AI, this statement I'm about to make. I think it started maybe just even with YouTube, that the playing field for mediocrity to be rewarded has skyrocketed, especially with AI I mean, man, AI. Think about what AI was like this time last year. It was not anywhere near what it's like now. Over the past 3 months, I've seen AI take a tremendous jump to where it's not perfect, but it's beginning to get difficult to tell in some cases what's AI and what isn't. Not always. There's still flaws. But there's videos out there that I see that I know are fooling people. I don't know, man. Like I said, the playing field for mediocrity being rewarded has it's taken off, and people are rewarded for for talentless, effortless shit, you know. But anyway, I digress. I've been going on for 30 minutes here. I wanted to just pop in and wish everybody happy holidays. And, I still struggle. I want you to understand I still struggle. That'll probably never change. I think that's just part of who I am. But I'm there for my boy. I love that little boy so much. And I think that's why I care about being a loser. Because that little boy deserves so much better. And I do my best with what I have. I'm trying to make it to where I have more. Because ultimately, if I have more, he has more. And that's what matters to me. If I didn't have him, I would be completely content with being a loser, I think. Maybe not necessarily. I wouldn't think of myself as a loser, I think, is really what I mean to say there. But since having a child, it really changed my perspective of myself, Anyway, I appreciate you guys for checking in, asking about me, and leaving awesome comments. Like, it's nuts, I mean, it's not like it's just very, very, very unexpected, and I appreciate it, So, I will see you guys again sometime. I can do lives on this channel, and I have done one not that long ago, and kind of did a little catching up stuff. If you'd like to visit me on a live or whatever, I only did the one because, I don't know, I didn't see anybody that I recognized. But if you'd like to, swing into some lives and stuff, and if you'd like to see me do more, I'll interact in real time. I'm all about that. So let me know, and yeah. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, and let's make 2026 bad as fuck. Let's come out on top at the end, You guys are awesome. I'll see you next time.